Welcome back everybody to my channel. I wanted to start off this year with a little fun book haul that I recently picked up from the library. In front of the doors of my library they actually had several books that were just free to take, and I found a few that looked really interesting and also some that aren't even technically released yet, so I thought it'd be pretty cool to take them home and give them a try. So let's get right into it. The first book that I picked up at the library is called The Dutch House by Anne Patchett. Definitely something I have seen before, but I have not read or gotten into it. I mostly picked it up because the cover is really beautiful, as you can really tell here. After the fact I looked it up and it has really good ratings as well. On Goodreads it has about a 4.11 star rating, and I think there's like 200,000 ratings or something like that, so that's a pretty decent rating for a book like this. So this book happens at the end of World War II. So our main character's father, he wants to change his family's financial situation, so he wants to get into the real estate business. So he starts that off by buying the Dutch house, and eventually that turns out to have been a poor decision. The story is given to us from the perspective of the son, Danny, and it takes place over like 5 decades, so quite a long span of time. And his sister is also an important character in this story. Basically, over that span of time, him and his sister are tested over and over again to overcome things in their past, probably to overcome the ruin that this house gave them somehow. From what I read, they have a pretty good relationship. It seems like it's going to be very character-driven story. And I just thought, from the descriptions, it sounded very beautiful, so I'm very looking forward to picking that up sometime. The next book that I picked up, I have heard before, and have heard pretty good things about actually, and that is Homecoming by Ya Jessie. This is probably something you have seen as well. It kind of was really popular when it came out at the very least. But if you don't know about this story, it takes place 250 or 300 years time span. It is said to be an emotional and breathtaking story that takes place over this time period in Ghanaian history as well as American history, so it becomes the story of both countries. And it focuses around the lives of two sisters, two half-sisters really. There's Afia and Essie. They're both born in different villages. I don't know if they even know about each other, but Afia marries well and she ends up living in the Cape Coast Castle, which is where a lot of slaves are kept, and I guess it still exists today. I don't know if it's still used for the same thing or not, but unbeknownst to Afia, her sister Essie is in the dungeons while she is also living in this castle, and she has been sold into slavery and is going to be shipped to America. Basically the story follows Afia and her husband while they struggle with the warfare and all the things that happen in Ghana, and then we also follow Essie and her life as a slave in America and the lives of her children and everything like that, and all the events that happen in America. We kind of follow all of that, and it is said to give us like a pretty visceral and stunning retelling of this history. One of my friends really liked this book, so I know, at least I've heard at least from real people that this book is really good, and it's definitely something I will enjoy, and I probably might even pick it up soon because I'm kind of in that type of mood with like I think I would enjoy like a historical fiction like that, where like history is like a main focus of the story. I think I would like that at this moment. And then the next 3 books that I have are the ones that are not technically released yet. So these, I guess the library was given like advanced reader copies. I guess, I don't know if they're allowed to use them in the library, they're just giving them away. So I'm gonna start off with this one here. It is called The Stars of Mount Quix. Kind of a cool color scheme going on there. The premise of this story, and this one comes out in April this year, so not too much longer for this one. The other ones come out later. But yeah, the premise of this one, there's a pair of sisters, the Ivyweather sisters. They are sent away for the summer to a town called Quix, and it is a mysterious town. It's got this fog that never lifts, and the townspeople talk about, they spread rumors about these monsters and whatnot that apparently live around town and in the mountains. And at some point, the two sisters are exploring the mountains, and they find out that these rumors are true. They meet Derek, and he is a spider-like creature that happens to be a really intelligent and talented astronomer. So it sounds a little bit goofy at this point, but that's okay. Maybe it's charming. But the three of them, the two sisters and this monster, Derek, they go on this journey to return the town's stars. I guess there's no stars in the city. And by doing that, they will supposedly clear the fog, get rid of these monsters, because apparently there's other monsters that aren't very nice. Of the 3 books, I'm not super sure on this one. This one might be a little bit on the goofier side, but it could be fun still. I'm still going to try to give it a go, especially since it's cool that it hasn't come out yet, so I don't know. There's not a lot of people's opinions that can sway me, so that might be fun. But yeah, of the 3 advanced copies, this one's I'm the least sure about, but we'll see. And then the one that I'm kind of most excited for reading is called If Tomorrow Doesn't Come by Jen St. Jude. This one's pretty as well. I like the colors on this one. So this one comes out in May, so a little bit longer, just a month longer than the other one, I guess. But it is said to be a mixture of We Are Okay and They Both Die at the End. So if you like those 2 stories, you're supposedly going to like this one. And this is a YA debut about queer first love, mental health at the end of the world, and the importance of saving yourself no matter what tomorrow may hold. Kind of sounds cool. I already read like the very first chapter just to like get an idea, and I kind of like it so far. Our main character is Avery. She is queer and in love with her best friend, but her best friend I don't think knows or has rejected her. It's hard to say at this point. And she also has undiagnosed clinical depression, so relatable, right? At the very beginning, she plans to end her life by jumping into the river by her college campus. But she gets interrupted because her best friend calls her to inform her that there's an asteroid on its way to Earth and it'll be there in 9 days to destroy everything. So she's a little bit disappointed because she was ready to be done with life, but she decides to muster along for these next 9 days for the sake of her friends and family. And I guess by doing so and all the adventures she has along the way, she will learn to save herself, which sounds pretty empowering. I mean, like, I feel like there could be a really good lesson in this book, especially for, you know, young adults suffering through depression and whatnot. I feel like this might be a really good book to read. And of the very few reviews that are online, there seems to be pretty good about this one, but it is hard to say because there's only like, I think like 20 ratings or something like that, so we'll see. But this one I am pretty excited for. And then the very last book that I have that I've got from the library and is not released yet is called Sing Me to Sleep by Gabby Burton. Here's the cover. So on the cool side, in this dark and seductive YA fantasy debut, a siren must choose between protecting her family and following her heart in a prejudiced kingdom where her existence is illegal. Sirsha Sorkova is our main character, and she works as a soldier for the kingdom and hides the fact that she's a siren because she's not allowed to be there. And she also, at the same time, works for a mercenary group as an assassin. So she does this because she's a siren and they have a hard time of not killing people. It's like an impulse, and her family thinks that she can control her impulses, but she can't. So that's why she works for the mercenaries, is how I'm interpreting this. So basically she lives a life of lies. At some point in the story, she becomes the personal guard of the prince. Before this point, she was trying to stay low so she doesn't get detected, but turn of events causes her to be in this high position. And it says in the description that she should hate this man, but she ends up not really hating him. He's kind of charming, and she kind of probably falls for him a bit. And also, while she's with him, they are investigating a killer that is plaguing the kingdom, which is kind of hard for her because she is that said killer. So you can tell this one has a lot of drama. a lot of ties that this character has to deal with. This one sounds fun as well. We'll see if it gets too complicated or not, but I think this is a world of all black and brown characters, so that's kind of cool. You don't have any white people in this book, so I don't know, it might make a nice aspect to the story. But yeah, well, those are the 5 books that I got from the library. I'm very excited to add all these to my collection. If any of the advanced copies I don't like, I will pass them along and let other people enjoy them, but we shall see. I greatly appreciate anybody joining me for today, and I hope you all have a great week. See you next time.